Coach. Start with an opening statement.
Shit, hell of a college basketball game. For us to battle with the number one team in the league, that's admirable. These guys could have come in and laid an egg, but they didn't. I thought the energy of the new guys coming back shows the potential that we have as a group. Now we just have to figure out a way to stay a little more disciplined. I think the two key stats that jump out to me. One is transition points. I think those are huge, 14 of those. And I think the fact that they went to the line 34 times, and that's not a slight on officiating at all. We have control over some of those things. So, we can control that and not find ways to help the other team or find less, because it's a battle. I get it. We're not going to play perfect, but we have to find less opportunities to hurt ourselves, and we'll have, maybe we can be a 2-point winner tonight.
Coach, you out-rebound Utah Valley after being, I think it was -4 on the glass at the break. Just talk about the work that your team did there, especially amidst foul trouble from key rebounders like Brock and JT.
Yeah, 17 offensive rebounds and only 17 points. You would think we would have a few more, 6, right? But that's a positive sign that we're working. We're trying to create more opportunities for ourselves. The flip side of that was because we were so strong on the offensive boards, they got some runouts. So, we get 17, they get 14 in transition. So I guess that's a net 3. So then you have to start looking at some of the other things, and this is one that we would love to have back, and we can't. But we played the number one team tough. But now we have to figure out ways to win.
And Coach, Brock and JT both got their 4th fouls early in the second half. How do you navigate when both of those guys get in foul trouble early, and when to bring them back and how long to sit them?
Yeah, that's tough. It's tough. Throws off some little rhythm there, but I thought for the most part, Jameer going a little small ball made them make some adjustments. I thought Malik gave us some solid minutes in there. Kai gave us a couple. Brock helps change the game around the rim, but JT doesn't foul out till late. I'm not quite sure if he fouled on that one. Of all the fouls that he had, that one seemed to be a little less, but that's not the reason. It's never that. It's about what we can control. And again, if we're a little more disciplined, maybe we don't put ourselves in some of those foul situations.
And Coach Tanner Toolson for them had 17 points. A lot of those came in the second half.
Yeah.
What did you feel like shifted at the break to allow him to get going in the second 20?
Well, I think he had a few runouts. We make one big mistake on one of their plays, critical mistake, and then he gets the 3. It's those things we were talked about. Who's going to make the first mistake? Big mistake. That was a big mistake for us because the way they run that action, we guarded a certain way. We get 2 to the ball, leave their best 3-point shooter wide open. Those are mistakes that you really want to avoid. Hoping for the miss, but he made it. So I look at some of those. Like, I think when we were solid, we made him work. I know 3 of those and a few runouts gets him to 17. But what I told my team, it's not going to be one guy. It's going to be their whole team. They find ways just to, each one of them, chip in a positive way. And I think they did that tonight.
Coach, Utah Valley leads the conference in blocks as a team per game. You guys were able to get 38 points in the paint against that. What made it so you guys were effective down low?
Man, we just tried to go at them, make them play, guard us one-on-one down there. That's if you can do that in college basketball, now you got a chance, right? One-on-one, the post is tough. So it was good that we found some success doing that.
Coach, you said coming into this game, one of the things you wanted to do was force Utah Valley into mistakes. They turned over just 9 times in the game, only 3 times in the second half. What did you feel like was maybe missing from that part of your defensive approach today?
Well, first of all, you don't want to hurt yourself. So, I've watched a lot of their games, and that's just how they win. They don't really blow teams away. They just stay solid and find a way to win by 1 or 2. They did that again tonight. Part of that is not turning the ball over. Who's going to make those critical errors? I thought You know, the one play that I thought stands out that was outside of them was the 3 by Grady in the corner. That sometimes, you know, things just going your way. But you know, that technical, going back and checking on that flagrant one, huge now, right? I mean, you lose by 2. So again, it's all discipline stuff. And you're talking about turnovers. It's all about discipline. So got to give them a lot of credit. They play very disciplined basketball, and it's really their credit to why they're number 1 in the league.
On that flagrant foul, did you get an explanation as to what their thinking was when it was just a regular foul on the court?
Well, no, it was explained. It was just a little too high, I guess, on the checkout, and because it got a little too high when they look at the film, they're not going to just call a flagrant one if it's not above the shoulder type of hit. So that's what it was explained to me. I haven't seen it yet, so that's the only thing that was explained to me. So I guess you just got to go with it.
And Coach, you got a 3-game road trip coming up here down the stretch of the season. What's the message to the team going back onto the road after a split this week?
What's the message? What's the message to us, right? We're one of the teams that we've got extra games. We haven't had the double bye yet. We go to Cal Baptist, come back and play an Albion Christian, where a team is basically hasn't had to move anywhere. Now we have 3 on the road at the end. Just a lot of weird stuff, a lot of stuff for us to overcome, but that's what makes you tough. You don't complain about it. You just, okay, that's part of the schedule. You deal with it. We've dealt with a lot. We're going to deal with more down the stretch, including 3 on the road. Hey, let's just bring it on. We're just playing one at a time.
All right. Thanks, Coach.